Liverpool 2, Tottenham 1.
Top of the league. You're having a laugh.
Bruv, what a finish to that game. Hugo Lloris. Don't worry about it, bruv. When God wants to work his magic, innit? It's written in the stars. God just went like this. Little sprinkle on it. One of them ones, bruv. Salt Babe. And that was it, bruv. What a big howler from Hugo Lloris, bruv. I mean, I can't understand that howler for a start.
Do you know what? Firstly, I just want to get it out there, get it off my chest, but fuck Tottenham, bruv. Do you know that? I just want to get it out there. Do you know all this stuff? Oh, yeah, well, top four secured. Well, we've got that. We've got to worry about challenging and competing. They're just deluded fans, bruv. Deluded people.
Arsenal fans. The Arsenal brothers out there, you must be loving that.
No, it's like it's not that. Do you know what? It's like I actually respect everything that Tottenham do. Yeah, like as in like they do things the right way. They get their the players. They buy players with their own success, and I get all that. They do things the right way. But it's just that sheer arrogance that about them. They've got this arrogance about them. It's like, well, it's like we've done top four, so it's all right. It's just on to competing for the title. Bro, you ain't got top four. You need to work. You need to make sure you get top four.
They can fall clean out of that top four.
They can fall clean, and then what? Then it's a disgrace of a season. That's what they're going to turn around and say, or whatever. But it's just, and then they all blame the board because they don't have the back in and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, they got your new stadium. It looks nuts. Woo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo. Bruv, don't count your chickens. That's what they're saying. Bruv, they are like a football team with some top players. No, there's no denying that. Harry Kane. It hurts me to say it, but the guy's obviously world class. But today, I watched that game and I thought first half, I thought Liverpool all over them. Second half, fair play. Spurs switched it up differently. Spurs switched it up differently, and it was tough to watch that because we were actually getting beat down.
Yeah. We're not. People know us, right? We're not fans that just talk shit about Liverpool, hyping them up. Tottenham in that second half came out, was sick, and they looked like they had lots of opportunities to score. And the first half, we had opportunities. I think Tottenham started for the first 10 minutes. Like everyone knows, Tottenham started off the first 10 minutes. All right, Liverpool took control of that game, and there were chances that Liverpool should have, I guess, taken away. And probably add on to the score.
Can you please explain to me, Can you please explain to me why Fabinho didn't start this game? Can you please...
There's anybody, bruv. Anybody explain to us why Fabinho has not started this game? That trio is dead. I said straight away from the start that people say, oh yeah, Klopp always backs these three because it works at home, he's done it before. I knew there was going to be no creativity coming through the middle from that midfield. And the only way we was going to get a goal is if Trent or Robbo were pinging in crosses. That's why I envisioned it from the beginning.
The tactic was obviously fair play to Klopp for that. It was clear that they were going to leave the front three high, leave them up the pitch, and then the fullbacks are going to go nice and high, and they're going to play that way. Fine, I get all that, and it worked because we tore them apart in the first half. Tactically, they had to change, and that for me is a sign of a good manager. Pochettino's clocked it, and he's going, you know what? Hold on, let me flip this up, and he did, right? And that's where you got to give your props to the manager. At 1-1. For me, they looked like only one winner in that game. I thought Spurs are going to nick another goal and then we're going to be sitting there licking our wounds. Yeah, that's what I expected. To go get a goal from nothing like that. To get a goal from nothing. And it was nothing. But again, it came from a cross from one of the fullbacks.
And I think you touched about Fabinho. When he came on, straight away, changed the game up. Straight away. He was impactful. The first few passes he did was straight
winning the ball back.
And
that's the thing. In that midfield with those three, Henderson... That's exactly it. That's what you can do.
That's the only correction you can give.
In the England game, he came on and he was putting in sliders after himself. You know what? Who's this guy?
To be fair, I saw him. He tried a few sliders today. But what I'm saying is, it's just the same thing. What did he create? Or I don't want to pick him out by himself.
I do both.
Like Milner, they were losing. Milner and Henderson, they were both losing the ball. And it was the first half. Literally, just constantly giving Tottenham the ball. Constantly.
A lot of their chances just came from us misplaced passes and they're breaking on us every single time. And when you're watching it, you think to yourself, this team is a top 4 team. They're in the top 4, right? So you can't be pissing about giving these up the ball, especially when you got Kane in the team. But yeah, it was just hard to watch at times from that perspective. But like you say, the goals, what a cross.
And go on. I was going to say, look, this is what I'm saying about Robbo. I rate Robbo, rate him highly. But that ball that he gave was undefendable. And that's what he needs to do more of. He got the ball, took a couple steps, whipped it straight in. It was, like I said, you cannot stop that. And it was a perfect, as a striker, a great header as well.
The thing is, if you as a defender, the last thing you don't want to be defending all the time. You don't want to be defending. So sometimes it is ask the question. Say to your centre forward, I want you to stay in the box, by the penalty box, and just ask questions. Make them defend. because they don't want to defend. If they can get away with not defending, they obviously would like to. But as soon as you put that ball in the mixer, you're asking a question.
Exactly.
And just ask the question. When you've got delivery like those two have got, then you need to ask the question more, from my personal
And that's what I was
opinion.
trying to say in my last video, was that that's what he needs to do more of. I'm not saying I don't rate Robert, that's what he needs to do more of. And you agree with that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're talking to defenders. What about Trippier, your boy Trippier?
He's fucking shit. I've said it for so long. He's shit. He's shit.
He's poor. Today he had a bad game.
No,
I try to defend Trippier sometimes, but...
I've been saying it for a long time, bruv. He should. I don't know how he gets in the England squad. That free kick in the World Cup, boo, whoop to do, bro. It's a good free kick. Trent should be in England, and I'm not just saying that as a Liverpool fan. I don't even like Walker, but Walker should be ahead of Trippier at right back. I'm sorry, Trippier is. I don't know how he burgles every time. It's just everyone's like, he's a good player. Him. No, he's not. He's not a defender, bruv. He's like Moreno. He's not a defender. Going forward, yeah, he's not bad, and you'd expect him to be decent at that if you're playing for Tottenham, but. I'm just as a defender, well, it's field day, innit?
But you know what?
He's shit.
You know these 3 points here? Does it give you a feeling in your stomach that this may be the season, or it just make? I actually think that moment alone, how it's panned out, an own goal, and someone as good as Lloris to do that. For me, I got a funny feeling, fans. I got a funny feeling, bruv, that could be one of those moments that God said, you know what, this is it. But we've had a few of them this year as well.
I don't know. I've said it for you before.
You're still sticking with that?
I felt that it went a couple of weeks ago, and I said it in the video, and it's not changing my mind. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to be jumping and cheering and hoping. But personally, I've almost got that feeling of I'm dejected already because I feel like that moment's gone. I watched Man City. But Fulham are giving them goals. Do you know what I mean? They'll always find a way to score a goal. And at the moment, the only thing that fills me with a little bit of hope is the fact that top four has got so tight. Man United need to win. Man United need to beat City because they need to get top four. Tottenham cannot afford to lose. Mm-hmm. So that's where it gets interesting. They've got to play both of those teams. And Man United can't afford to roll over. They can't afford to. They need to win.
And same
that
with
game.
Tottenham. Same with Tottenham. They got a huge up, like you said, the big up stadium. They can't not be playing no Champions League and have that stadium. That's going to cause them havoc, bro.
Yeah.
VVD, that situation with Sissoko.
Gary Neville pretty much.
Just class. And then even with Harry Kane, there's a few times Harry Kane got through, just smashed him. It's all over.
I told you now because that's going to be a meme.
It's all over Twitter.
That block that he made is going to be a meme. But the guy's a colossal, bro. There's not enough words to describe how rated this guy is. I'm baffled that none of these massive clubs came in. These tycoon fucking owners
don't
and
speak
that.
too loud, bro. They probably will. And then even Bobby.
It's hardly a secret, is it? You know what I mean?
And Bobby, like his runs today, his touches, his goal, he just adds so much to the team. And then back to Salah.
Frustrating. He's frustrating.
Yeah, but like I said, the movement, he was there again. Like you've always said it. You say it all the time. Is that the guy's always in the areas. He's always causing problems, and he was there, switched on again at the very end of the game, dead header. But you have to be there.
It's like Napoli, that goal against Napoli when he murked Koulibaly, but the finish was actually dead. If you think about it, the keeper made a mistake there. But like you say, you've got to be in those positions to keep doing it. And they all that front three. That's what the beauty of him is. You can't really get one without the other because when Firmino's not playing well, he's still making the runs. And the same for them. They don't seem very selfish. They seem like they want each other to do well, and it kind of shows in the performances and the results.
And the other guy, we always praise him. He does well. Alisson, somebody. Is he smoking crack before he starts this game? There's so many times today that he was making mistake after mistake. Like you said, you talk about his distribution, some of his decision making when the ball's rolling to him with his feet. What, bruv? People say he's the best keeper in the league. I don't think he is. He's up there.
Do you know what I hate Sky Sports they do, yeah? They pull out these random stats, bro.
Like most saves.
Highest percentage of saves that he's made. Bro, the Man United made a save for 4 games, bro. And then when he makes one save, everyone's like, yeah, it's the highest percentage. Yeah, it's good because that's what you want him to do. That's what you pay for. But his distribution, no one talks about that. Find out how many times he misplaced the ball. That's the problem. So
and our corners. Talking about stats, bro. People say that we've got some really good stat about set piece goals. Our corners are shit. Is it just us?
They're poor. I don't know where
we get so many as well.
Exactly, but when Liverpool get corners, we do it all the time. How many times do you sit there and go, oh, here we go? Do you know what I mean? When someone plays against us and they put balls into the box, you're shook because fucking hell, corners, set pieces. Bro, other teams, I'm sure they must just be like, you know what? Just Mark Van Dijk, the rest of them will be all right, they're shit. Because we just can't beat the first man sometimes. I know it's a tactic to get that front post run and flick and then it takes 3-4 people out the game, but
they did a few variations today as well. They were trying different things and there's the same old fucking bullshit outcome.
At least they're trying something different. the positive that you can take on that.
And was there any standout performances for you today? The ones that you want to mention, or talk about? You can talk man of the match as well.
Man of the match. I thought probably Robbo, just because of even in the first half, the few of the passes that he picked out were very good and an assist. Thought Sadio Mane was relentless as per usual. Van Dijk sets his normal high standards, but I haven't got. No one comes to mind as a man of the match for me at the moment. No one stands out for me as in like, oh, what a performance.
Yeah,
I think if I had to give one, it'd probably Robertson because he was involved in both the goals. So
yeah, I'll probably go VVD. I think he was.
It's a safe answer. It's a safe bet.
It is. But I mean, his is always like a 7 out of 10 at every single game. But I think, like you said, it was out of those two from defence. So, on to the next game, which is Southampton on Friday.
I'm sure that's a scary game. That Hasenhutl's causing problems. Right?
Yeah, he'll be up for it for sure. I think it's away, so that makes it tricky in itself. And they need the win as well. But like I said, this now going to the end of the season, I still believe that City will slip up with some points here and there. I'm looking really closely at that game at Palace away. I don't see Cardiff do anything, but Palace away for me, and then the Tottenham games are...
Talking of Cardiff, that's a fucking shambles. The refereeing decision was a shambles, yeah? And I feel sorry for them because they should, like... Because
they can't say shit either.
They can't say shit. Like penalties, 2 penalties, the offside, which is a joke, it's actually laughable.
You know, like people who've got the platforms like this and like Match of the Day and that kind of stuff, they should go at the referees. If a referee's making mistakes that blatant... They should not be refereeing these games.
Exactly. It's easy to say about players. Exactly. And, he is shit, or he didn't do very well, or that was good. Sometimes you've got to be hats. We say sometimes, you know, it's a good referee, and it was a good decision.
Yeah.
Fair play. But that was the shambles. That could cost
unexcusable.
them. That could cost them their status in the Premier League.
100%.
And it's as much as you know, you say what you want over the course of the season, but it's happened a couple of times, and it's not that against Chelsea. I'm sure the other top 4 clubs would have been looking at that, thinking, for fuck's sake, do you know what I mean? Bit of consistency, but. Yeah, it's just frustrating to see that because I think, like you say, we've got one of the best leagues in the world, if not the best league in the world. Yet the officiating is that poor.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of punishment for that because that can't go on. It was literally laughable. Until then, until Friday, until next game, please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. Peace.